Nice car.
So I just got done watching Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, and if you couldn't tell by the title of the video, it's god-awful.
Bruh.
Shikimori was an anime that a fair amount of people seemed to care for and talk about during its first couple episodes. However, after a few weeks, discussion and hype for it dropped faster than my pants when I enter a preschool. So because everyone stopped giving a shit for the show, I basically had very little to no expectations for it. It had and still currently has a 6.9 on my anime list, so I figured it'd be bad, but nothing horrible. I mean, it's just a school rom-com. How bad can it be? I enjoy romantic comedies a lot, so even if Shikimori wasn't good, I'm sure I would at least enjoy it to a certain extent. Well, it turned out I was wrong. Very, very wrong. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie isn't just bad, it's terrible. Now, what makes Shikimori so bad? Well, there's mainly one reason, and that's due to the show being really fucking boring. Now, I don't like saying shows are bad because they're boring, since it's not really saying much. Just because I find a show like Shikimori boring doesn't mean others can't find enjoyment and entertainment from it. Shikimori surely has some fans that like it, and that's completely fine. But as for me, I found it to be a chore to sit through. I watched it all in one sitting, and it felt like 10 hours, which is twice as long as it actually was. Basically, nothing happens in this show. Izumi and Shikimori are two high schoolers that are dating, they go on dates, they have fun at school, yada yada, all shit you've seen everywhere else. Nothing in this show feels unique or distinct. Shikimori, while not a horrible character by any means, certainly isn't one I'll be remembering once I'm done with this review. There have been several rom-com girls that have grown in popularity over the last couple years, such as Uzaki, Marin, Komi, and yes, even Nagatoro. However, I don't think Shikimori is going to stay in people's minds for much longer. She's not super generic or anything, all she is a girl who's very loyal, strong, and loves her boyfriend. That's pretty much it. If you look at some of these other girls, they're much more memorable than her. Marin is a cosplayer, Uzaki is short and has big tits, Komi doesn't talk at all, and Nagatoro is of African descent.
I do not associate with niggers.
It's pretty pathetic that everyone watched Shikimori for, well, Shikimori, who isn't even that distinct of a character. Again, she isn't bad or anything, but she certainly can't carry the show by herself. Who else in the show was an enjoyable, likable, and or memorable character? None of the side characters are interesting, and Izumi sure as hell isn't good either. In fact, he's fucking dog shit. He is absolutely terrible and easily one of the worst main protagonists in any romantic comedy I've ever seen. There is nothing to him whatsoever. He's generic, he's wimpy, he's lame, he sucks, and he's a big stupid pussy. Why do so many authors have to create and write such pathetic and shit protagonists in series? These are the protagonists. They are the main characters of their series. They are one of the two most important characters in their series. They are supposed to be characters that the audience gets attached to and finds likable and interesting. Why is it that so many rom-com and harems fail at this and give us some of the most awful and bland characters in anime and manga? I am sick and tired of this. Izumi can go die in a ditch and Shikimori can die with him too if she feels like it.
Right back at you, Izumi. How are you today?
Like I said, absolutely nothing happens in the show. Everything that happens in Shikimori is something you've seen in any other rom-com. There's a culture festival, there's a school festival, there's a date at the movies, and there's a last episode which is extremely disappointing. Basically, Izumi and Shikimori go on a date at an amusement park, Izumi kisses her on the cheek, and that's it. I wasted 5 hours of my life just to see some jackass give a girl a kiss on the cheek. Fuck off. As soon as I was done with the last episode, I was happy that it was finally over, but I was also extremely irritated too. I didn't expect too much from the last episode, but I had some expectations, which was only due to episode 11 not being all that bad. During the episode, we get to see Shikimori back when she was younger and also get to see her meet Izumi for the first time. As a kid, Shikimori struggled to find her own identity and tried to follow in her brother and mother's footsteps. Her brother then told her to stop doing that, and that she should find something she enjoys doing in life. She then read a girl's love manga, quit her karate class, and decided to become a cute girl and fall in love. While I wouldn't say this is a good episode by any means, at least I can say it's an episode where stuff actually happens. A good portion of this episode is a flashback of Shikimori's past, and that is something I've been meaning to see since the beginning of the series. We do get a flashback of how Izumi confessed to Shikimori, but that doesn't get shown until episode 7. So for half of the anime, I'm just watching some random couple dating, which is probably one of the reasons why I found the show to be boring. I don't know much about these characters, so seeing them all lovey-dovey for 6 episodes doesn't really do it for me. It would be more satisfying to see them in a relationship if we got to see more of them before they became a couple, or at the very least, these flashbacks should have been shown much earlier, such as in episode 2 or 3 maybe. I'm sure the show would still be bad, but I have a feeling I'd enjoy it a bit more, but who really knows. Shikimori still fails at multiple things that a rom-com needs in order to succeed. It doesn't have a good female character, the relationship with the main characters doesn't develop at all, and it's also not funny either. With all of that, what are we really left with? A show with one god-awful male and one forgettable female main character that isn't funny and also has no plot, which results in absolutely nothing happening. Now the thing is, you can have a rom-com that lacks a plot and also manages to be a fun series. Uzaki Wants to Hang Herself is a good example of that. Say what you want about Uzaki, love it or hate it, it at least does some stuff right. Both Uzaki and Sakurai are likable and enjoyable characters. While I do find Uzaki very entertaining, I will say that Sakurai isn't amazing or anything. He's far from bad, he's okay, and I definitely don't mind him as a character. Because both main characters are fun and entertaining, they can carry the show and do pretty much anything, and I'll be fine with it. While the plot is very lacking, at the very least there is a goal in the show, which is obviously for the two of them to become a couple. They make progress throughout the show, but usually not much really happens. That's fine though, and also fairly standard for a rom-com. The reason I'm able to overall enjoy Uzaki is because its characters are fun and I want to see them both become a couple. In Shikimori, there is no goal since its characters are already dating from the start, plus its characters suck too. Now I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually going to say something positive about Nagatoro. Yeah, that's how bad Shikimori actually is. As much as I despise Nagatoro, at least some stuff actually happens in it. Senpai becomes slightly less of a bitch throughout the series run, I guess, and he and Nagatoro both fall in love with each other. Even though I hate both of them, at least there's an end goal for the series. Also, more importantly, the series makes me feel something when watching it. I get angry when I watch Nagatoro, which is something I can't say for Shikimori. When I watch Shikimori, I feel nothing. I don't feel happy, I don't feel sad, I don't feel angry or annoyed. I just feel empty and bored, which is the worst thing a viewer can feel when watching something. Shikimori is a form of entertainment. If it's not entertaining, then what's the point? I don't think I have anything else to say that I haven't already, and I think you get the point. Shikimori is extremely boring and forgettable. Its characters suck, there's no plot, it's not funny, the soundtrack is bland, the art isn't good, there's nothing to this show. Shikimori is terrible. I'd give it 2 light bulbs out of 10. Anyway, that's it for this video. If you liked it, then leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, or even support me on Patreon. Link in the description. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go watch Breaking Bad.
My name is Gustavo, but you can call me Sus.
Holy shit. That's a big fucking mess.